Narks, you're cracking me up. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a really fun topic. There's a whole lot of people who love Hemis, and there's a whole lot of people who love LS. This is just more or less going to be about the platforms themselves. We're not here to sit there and point, whoa, well, Hemi can do this and LS can do that. Nah, there's plenty of people that talk about that crap on other different channels and what have you. This is just for us to all talk about. Let me start there. I have some guests who install next-gen Hemis in older cars, in different cars. I have some guests who install LS platform in all kinds of stuff. So I have educated experts who do this, who have done this. So it's not just me making my own hypothesis on the subject. So let me start out and bring in my first guest. This guy is named Eric from LSX Swaps. Now there's two of them. There's Eric and Dan, which is odd because I'm Eric and I have a brother named Dan. So here, let me go ahead and bring up Eric. Hey, Eric, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, man. So let me go ahead and pull you full screen here. Do you want to just kind of give everybody an idea of who you are, where you come from, what you guys are about, plug your YouTube channel, that type of thing?
Absolutely. So I am Eric White, and I am part of 815 LSX Swaps here in Rockford, Illinois. It is me and Dan. And we have 3 LS swapped vehicles between the two of us. You can see both of them in the background here. We've got a 240 SX and then also have a Fox Body Mustang right behind me. And both of those are LS swapped, and the Fox Body is going twin turbo over the winter. And Dan also has a BMW E36 that he can talk about as well.
Sweet. Here, let me pull up Dan. You want to go ahead and give us an idea of what you got going on?
Yeah, so this one we've been doing a lot of videos of recently. It's been getting us a little bit of traction on our channel. So this is my 99 E36 BMW convertible. Got it as a stripped down chassis, no interior, no wire harness, nothing. Everything's actually put back into it, full interior, full wire harness, all electronics work. And started with a simple 5.3, fully rebuilt it, put a 4L80 behind it, and then a mild cam. Had a little bit of fun with it. Now we're tearing it down, doing a twin turbo build on there, which has been getting us a lot of views because it's really hard to fit that in there, and a lot of people want to know how I'm doing it.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys joining us tonight for this discussion. Let me bring in the Hemi guy here real quick, Mr. Big Block Garage.
How's it going?
What's up, brother? You want to let everybody know where you're from, what you're doing, how you got into this?
I'm at Monroe. I go by Big Block. I'm in Bentonville, Arkansas with Narks. Started out, got this Duster, 71 Duster, found a $600 Hemi on Facebook Marketplace, and just started putting it together.
Nice.
Got the YouTube channel for Big Box Garage. We also have trying to think of what else to say.
Podcast?
Oh, yes. Run a podcast with my buddies. It's under Big Box Garage, Mad from Monroe.
Nice. That's awesome. Hey, I appreciate you guys joining us here. I see Narks. He's over there. Are you ready to join the screen, buddy? Let me pull him up and see if we can get his audio going and have him tell us a little bit about who he is.
Can you see me?
Yeah, you're on, buddy.
All right. Hey, so me and Steven, he's right off the screen here. Pop in real quick. Hey, yeah. Hey, so we own Narcs Elliptic Customs, and we
a little louder, buddy.
Louder?
Yeah.
Let me talk loud. What if I get closer? That help?
That's great.
So, all right, I'll slide up here on the stool. So, we do LS swaps. We've got 2 boosted LSs in the shop right now. It's a 30 by 40 shop in the backyard that we run part time, and then we do we have YouTube channel and podcasts, and any way we can talk to folks, we are out there. We just crossed 1,000 followers on Instagram yesterday too, so it's kind of exciting.
That's awesome. Let me see if I can get us all up here. Bam. All righty.
Nice.
Here we go. So
Hey,
let me
real
start out with.
Get
Yeah,
in.
go ahead, buddy.
We don't only do LS stuff. I helped Matt put together the Hemi that he probably has to take apart now to fix. I had stuff on my mind when we were putting his Hemi.
I mean, it sounded a little funny at one point, but
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, hey, I want to let everybody know, if you guys like this type of thing and you like us discussing awesome car stuff, I'm going to try and provide you guys the best with the most educated people that I can find that are normal dudes. These guys don't make millions of dollars doing this every day. It's great to see those people and see their shows, but not all of us have a 10,000 square foot shop to go play around and have lifts and all. No, we got jacks. We got creepers. We crawl under there. We do this stuff ourselves. That is why I love this topic, and I love bringing everybody in. But if you guys want to support me or any of these guys, please go to their channels. I'm going to leave their links below so you can check out each one of these guys and what they're doing and keep up with their builds. And if you want to support this, there's something called a super chat or sticker. Feel free to click that, and you can support us and do it for me. When these guys are up there, you can hit a little applause button, and they can get paid on their videos. But we're doing this for free, for fun, because we love cars. But for me to get better content and more things, I got to make some kind of money because I haven't worked since April. So this is kind of what I do. Anyway, so who wants to start us off with why they chose the LS platform? Raise your hand or bark.
Let me go first here.
All right, Mr. Narks.
Here's the thing. Hot rodding's been around for a really, really long time. And so when you think of like badass hot rods, I mean, you think of like the old school Hemi stuff, right? Well, what drew me to the LS is that the guy that designed the original Hemi, his grandson helped design the LS engine.
Right, that is true. And I know you found that out from who was the guy on your podcast?
Billy Godbold did not say that.
No, but he did say that the guy who developed the LS motor, the LS engine, was hired by Chrysler afterwards and helped them create the Hemi.
No, I'm talking about the original Hemi.
No, the original Hemi. No.
I think it's a true fact. I'm going to tell everybody that from now on, and we'll see how long it takes to circle back around to me.
Yeah, that's perfect. Alrighty, so I want to go ahead and give Big Block a chance to talk here for a second. So what made you choose the Hemi to put in that thing? I mean, you can get a 360 crate motor pretty cheap. What were what inspired you? Just
it was a $600 Hemi. I mean, the original plan when I first got the car was to do a modern Hemi swap with a TKO 600. That was just what I wanted to do. I kind of adjusted as I went. I was going to settle on like a 318. Narks can attest. I bounced around a bunch on ideas. Like I went from supercharging the Slant 6 that was in it to just doing kind of all kinds of different stuff. So Hemi came up. It had already been in the machine shop. Was ready to go. They could put down a lot of power with very little modifications. Like I think talking to comp cams, like the cam and then modified air intake and everything, we're going to be putting down close to 500 horse, just a little shy.
And that's crazy that you can take a junkyard motor and do that. I remember watching on, what's the one with Freiberger where they do the motors on Hot Rod TV?
Engine Masters.
Engine Masters. I remember them getting this 85 or 90 horse from a cam.
Yeah,
just a cam in the Hemi. That was kind of interesting.
Yep. We real quick on that.
Yeah.
A cam kit for an 11 Challenger the other day. So I do some stuff with NWA Streetworks in Siloam Springs, which is close to us. And so sometimes I'll answer the phone for them when they won't. So I took and we priced a cam kit, and Aaron Mick at Comp said that the Stage 2 cam should add 80 horsepower in a 5.7 Hemi.
Wow, that's insane. Is that the junkyard motor you're building, or is that a crate?
No, it's an all stock setup. Well, not all stock, but it's an 11 Challenger. Dude's just upgrading it. So he's
Cool.
a big intake and full exhaust. And when he put the intake on, like an Edelbrock 71, 79, whatever, I don't know, big breathing, full intake, not cold air. And when he put that on with the long tubes and full exhaust, he gained literally like 2 wheel horsepower. So it made him mad. And he's like, man, I just spent $1,000 putting this intake and didn't get anything out of it. He said, I never wanted to open the engine up. He's like, but you spent $1,000 putting the intake on. How can you be excited about that? So he'll probably gain close to 90 or 95, being that he has all the supporting mods plus this new cam setup.
Yeah, everything has to be married together. I mean, I remember in high school, people would throw a cam in their car and it'd be slower than it was without it.
Yeah.
Well, because you didn't touch the intake, you didn't touch the heads. Remember, it's an air pump.
Yeah.
What they are.
A lot of times they would put a cam that was too big in it anyways, because they wanted
Yeah, too big a cam, too small a carb, and they always use the wrong intake.
Yep. Yep. And stall converters. Put good stall converters and stuff.
Oh yeah, so you can hit the power range.
Yeah.
So LSX swap boys,
Yeah.
which one of you guys want to chat a little bit about? What drove you to do this, and give us some ideas on things for people to look out for when they're throwing an LS in pretty much everything. And I have queued up. A guy took it's a Vortec, but he went to Holly LS Fest and put it in a go-kart.
I think I've seen that.
So which one of you guys want the mic?
I can go. So the reason I chose the LS is a few years ago, I really wanted to get into engine building, and I just wanted to start with rebuilding an engine. So I have no idea about building a car or doing any type of swap at all. I just wanted to learn rebuilding an engine from the ground up, and I wasn't sure what platform to get into. So did a little research, and there was a few things I was batting around with, but then I ended up moving into the neighborhood I live in now and meeting Eric, who's actually my neighbor, and he showed me his LS Swap 240, and so I started looking up the LS swaps and seeing. I knew what the LS was. I didn't know that it was this big cult following of doing LS swaps, and so I started looking into it and saw how big the aftermarket was for it, how easy it was to get one, how you can pull a 5.3 from the junkyard because they made over 1 million of them and they're in every given junkyard. You can't walk in the front door without tripping over one.
Yeah.
They last forever. 300,000 miles are easy for these engines. They're just built right. And that the stock bottom end can support almost 1,000 horsepower ish. Within a little while, but, you don't have to build the bottom end to, build a thing over 500 horsepower.
Right.
So it's always ready for more. So that's one of the things that drove me to it. And so I ended up picking one up. I think I picked up this motor. Was it last February, Eric?
I think so.
Yeah, during the polar vortex. And I just backed my truck up. The guy put it in the bed of my truck, and it was like $350. Whole engine, harness, everything.
Yep.
So rebuilt that, put a mild cam in there, did a little bit of work to it, and then ended up hunting down a car to put it in. It was originally supposed to be like a small truck SUV build, and then stumbled across the BMW, got it for a really good price. Actually, one of his friends who's actually watching on here right now.
Yeah.
Took a really good deal on this one. So doing all the research there was a lot of support for this. There was a lot of knowledge base out there, lt1swap.com, and everything on there. Everything I did to this, I did it in my garage, and I felt comfortable doing it because there was a lot of knowledge out there for it, and there was a lot of following for it. So it just seemed like that was the easiest choice to get into this. I mean, nothing against Hemi. I love Hemi as well, and I wouldn't mind doing one of those, but it just looked like the LS was the better choice for that.
Yeah, the aftermarket for LS is off the charts. And the thing is, it seems like GM, no matter what it is, when they come out with something new, the aftermarket just explodes. And it's almost everywhere before the motor came out. Now, Ford is doing a great job as well. I know the 7.3, that's a whole nother topic and a whole nother show. I don't want to get too far in Fords, but they as well have a great following. Hemis are always late to the show when it comes to anything aftermarket.
Yeah, that was the other thing is I did look at Hemis, and a couple of years ago I couldn't find anything on it. Hemi swap doing a 3-wire conversion to a harness. It was go to Mopar and buy it for a couple $1,000s for just to get a harness, and that was insane to me. Like, no, I just want to use stock ECU. I just want to do this myself and tune it. And there's like 2 guys out there that had any articles at all on actually how to modify the stock harness to work standalone.
Yeah, the first time I saw that issue was that old monkey show that they had. Aaron Kaufman was the first guy that helped crack that nugget there. And then it seemed like after that show, everybody started, being able to put those things in something else. And now they offer hell crates and they offer, they sell it all as a package now. And that's probably why they didn't put anything out earlier.
Yeah, it seemed like they locked it down pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
And you also got to consider the interchangeability of all the parts between the LS too. I mean, there's so many different versions and all the parts interchange.
Oh,
and the LT.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation is bringing in the LT motors. I mean,
well, I'm saying going from the LT to the LS, a lot of the transmissions made it up just fine. It was interchangeability. So you have support from beyond when the LS started.
Yeah, so like you said, you literally can go into the junkyard and just pick a vehicle.
Yep. The 80E that's on this, I pulled it out from behind a LT and bolted it right to this one, no problem.
Yeah, that sucks having to get plates or anything. Narks, didn't you just put an LS in a Jeep Wagoneer? Somebody told me.
Yep. Yeah, we are almost finished with it. I'm so excited. It'll be gone. So we have used advanced adapters a bunch in the past. We put a 5.3 and 4L60 in a FJ Land Cruiser. We did, and then in this Grand Wagoneer. And it's been super easy, but we won't do any more 4-wheel drive stuff. We are 2-wheel drive from here on out. I don't want to worry with kids and all that that goes along with it. But hey, let me show you guys what we're working on right now.
Sweet.
Aaron here has his grandfather's truck, the 94 OBS that's got a built 5.3, and we're putting a Pro Charger on it. It's excited. There'll be a couple 600 horsepower rigs that have come out of the shop here.
Very cool. That's exciting.
Yeah. Cool.
Big Block, what's your horsepower goals for the Duster?
Right now, I mean, with it being such a light car, I'm kind of okay with where we're going to be at with the high 4s, low 5s. I don't want to go much higher than that, really, because it is going to be a daily once it's in there and done. But eventually, do a crazier build in a different car that has a little bit more weight to it. I think I'm gaining 50 pounds, and that's it with the Hemi over that Slant 6.
Oh, wow. And now, have you just left the leaf springs, or are you going 4-link, or what are you going to do with the rear end?
In the rear end, for right now, just due to cost, it's going to stay leaf springs, but it's going to get a QA1 4-link rear end put in it eventually. Very
cool. Well, now we're talking rear ends. So, Dan, what's the deal with the rear end going in that there BMW?
Well, actually, I was talking to one of our subscribers earlier today, and I thought I had a pretty good idea. So it still has the original 293, which is really small rear end on this one. And I do need to beef that up and make it bigger. And I do want to do an LSD. I haven't pinned down exactly which one I'm going to put on there. I'm thinking the BMW M3 LSD. And I think with these turbos at the GT35s I'm running on here, everybody has told me they're just going to light off instantly. And I'm going to have a whole ton of problems with trying to get this thing to hook up. So I don't think I need to go too tall on the rear end. And I figured once we get to it, I want to do a special. So once we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll do a special one. I will launch the car with the diff cover off, no diff fluid in there, and put a camera back there on it. So,
I want to see that.
and then I'll upgrade it.
That is going to be amazing. By the way, once again, everybody on here, hop in, after you're done watching this, of course. But go ahead and jump over to their channels and slap that subscribe button. Let's help these guys out, help them grow. We're car guys. Let's help each other grow, man. For me, when I'm searching around YouTube, I'm looking for guys like these guys. That's who I watch. That's what I do. Sure, once in a while I'll watch some of the big dudes, but for the most part, I'm looking at guys who are actually getting their hands dirty. So, Eric, what's the story with your rear end over there? Why are we talking putts anyway? But anyway.
So first I'll talk a little bit about the 240. That was my first swap. So when I got that, it had the Nissan RB20 motor in it, which is a turbo inline six. It was a cool motor. It was horribly untuned. And for the price to take it and get tuned by somebody, I figured I would just go ahead and start a swap. I had blown the clutch out in it, and I replaced the pivot ball. So I bought all the parts, put it in, got the car back together, put it on the ground, wouldn't move. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me what was wrong. So I jumped on a bunch of Facebook pages. I had pictures of everything I did. And actually a guy in Australia had pointed out the difference between the pivot ball that I had on was too short. So how he found that in the pictures, I have no idea, but I'm glad he did. I ended up having to order a special pivot ball for that trans directly from Australia. And it took like 4 to 6 weeks to get here, and shipping was like double the price of the actual part. So it was kind of at that point where I was like, I want to be able to go to the parts store. I want to be able to buy parts for my car, fix it, and drive it. So that was how I first got started in doing the swap. And just like Dan, my first one, I found it on Marketplace. I backed my truck up, guy put it in my truck, and I brought it home. And I just started taking it apart. And finally, I got on Rock Auto. I bought rebuild kits. I bought new accessories, did all that stuff, put it back together. And then it's probably been about 5 years ago now. Black Friday, I went with a Sickie swap kit. So that came with the mounts, the trans mounts, wiring specialties harness, plug and play. And then I just went to town. Then once I got that RB tore out, the LS put in, I needed a trans. So I knew I wanted to do a T56. The price of them is outrageous. I ended up being able to find one. I traded my entire engine swap for. So I gave the guy engine, trans, turbo, had a brand new stage 4 clutch in it. I gave him everything, and he gave me T56 and a clutch. Got it back, put it all together, drove it for the first year, had some issues with some grinding and gears, and then I could never get the thing in reverse. So I finally pulled that out and took it to a guy local to us in Sycamore, and he actually did a TIC Performance Stage 2 build on it. Definitely cost me more than I had anticipated, but now the car runs and drives great. I can jump in at any time. I can just take it wherever, and that's really what I enjoy about the 240. And then I came across the Mustang, same guy that Dan got his Beamer from, Twisted Tech. He's out there in the comments. I got this Fox body as a bare shell, no suspension, no nothing. It literally took 3 or 4 of us to pick up the car off of his garage floor and put it on the trailer. And then from there, I just started meeting people with Fox body parts, and I've met a lot of cool people and got a lot of deals on parts, and just started hunting. And then Dan and I went on 4th of July 2 years ago and pulled a stock 6.0 out of a 2500 at the junkyard, and I'm pretty sure we died a couple times that day. It was so hot. It was miserable, but we got the whole motor, and Dane ended up buying the trans, but I think I paid less than $300 for stock 6.0 computer, just the works.
Wow. That is absolutely awesome. No, and that's why I was really excited to have you guys on, because you've done the 3 cars. I mean, you're in the midst of finishing your 3rd, correct? Do you guys have plans for more than that? Are you looking to just tune and deal with what you have? Or like you said, are you going to switch over and do a swap with something else? I mean, your name on YouTube is LSX Swap. So
Right. Well, I've wanted to do a cart, which I know Narcs has got a cart, which I think that's pretty sweet. I want to do like maybe a Miata cart, do a twin turbo Miata, or vet cart's been done, but I would do a vet cart. But definitely want to do something like that. But we're obviously out of room here, so I actually went on Monday and tried looking at some property to buy to get a couple shops, but unfortunately, it was not worth buying or saving. It was pretty rough. So I don't know. Dan and I have talked quite a bit about what we'd like to do next. We're pretty open. I'd like to do a rat rod.
Nice.
We've talked like Cadillacs. Dan and I have talked about a lot of different things. So not really sure what we're going to do next, but yeah, these cars behind us won't be the end of what we're doing. And even the Fox body, we just took that out to the drag strip this, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago now. And it's NA. We don't have the turbos on. Dan's got the GT35s. I've got two GT45s to go on the Fox body. So right now it's bone stock 6.0 Trailblazer SS intake, 102 millimeter throttle body, and that's it. There's nothing else done to it. Just really wanted to get that motor in, and that's what's awesome about the LS is you can put gaskets on it, rebuild it, throw it in the car, and it's gonna run.
Yeah.
So we did that and just took it out and seen how the chassis handled, and it handled awesome. It wasn't quick, but we didn't have high expectations. So we're definitely
too bad though. The thing would have ran a solid 12 if we got it hooked up, but last pass, somebody oiled down the back half of the track. So
yep.
So we only got 2 passes on that, and I mean that was tuned by me, and I'm learning how to tune. So there's a lot left on the table on that car.
That's how you got to start, though, and that's once again why I love having a panel of you guys. You're not, seasoned. Everybody's the perfect tuner, and we all know everything. No, we're guys banging our head against the wall till we get this thing right. And when it takes off and tries to pull a wheelie because you hit the magic number, you're like, "Oh crap, that's awesome!"
Got that moon tune.
Yeah.
You would have thought I ran a single digit when you saw me come back down that track on that return road with a 14.0 slip, just because that car, like I said, it was a bare chassis. There was nothing to it. I built everything. So just to even be able to make it down the track with nothing breaking, I was celebrating like I ran an 8 second.
Yeah, I think we were surprised the thing actually stayed together all the way down to the quarter mile.
Yeah.
I expected it to go down there in multiple pieces, 2 or 3.
Did you run it at Byron, or where'd you run?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good track. I love that track.
Yeah, it ended up being
Go ahead.
It ended up being about 70 degrees maybe a month ago, which was pretty rare. So I knew I had to jump on that opportunity because it was going to be the only chance I got to run it this year before we tear it apart and start working on it again.
Nice.
And I'm hoping to have this one all put back together by spring. Well, I know it'll be back together by spring, but fully tuned. I need to find a professional tuner because I'm not going to play around with that. And I want to get it to Byron. I've never raced this car. I've never raced a car at the track. So it'll be a pretty fun learning experience. And I never even dyno tuned this car before. I cammed it myself and kind of learned how to tune it myself. And I had it out all year driving it, took it to a bunch of different little car shows. And I actually was daily driving it for a few weeks or about a month or so back and forth to work and everything. I put about 500 miles on it in a few months. And so far it was holding up really good. I want to get it to the track. I do want to dyno test it once I get these turbos going and see what this thing can make.
Oh man, that'll be awesome. I'm excited for that video. That'll be so cool. Well, that'll be probably May of next year before you get a chance to get back at the track.
Probably. Yeah, unless I can find a vacant road. We'll make some videos there.
Well, there always is Mexico. Everybody can drive out.
Take it down to Mexico.
Not far from anyone's house.
Mm-hmm. So. Canada would be closer.
Yeah, Canada, no kidding. Trust me.
I'll be taking it down to my dad's here in the springtime because he wants to drive it too, or get driven around in it at least. And he's down in northern Arkansas, so there's some vacant roads down there. I'm sure we can hit.
Narcs may know a few out that way.
Yeah.
Don't you threaten me with a good time coming to Arkansas.
Yeah, we'll find you something.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, where are you guys at in Illinois?
We're about an hour. Was it west of Chicago? So in Rockford.
Way up there,
Yeah.
about an hour west of Chicago.
Rockford area.
My old stomping grounds.
My brother lived in England for a while, and he's asking if you're like, what, 3 hours from Effingham, Illinois?
I'm not sure.
He said they don't get down this far. They're not rednecks.
They said they don't like effing ham.
Hey, listen, don't ever go fast in Effingham, Illinois. Yeah, they'll get your ass.
I think that's anywhere in Illinois. They'll get you.
That's true. Well, unless I just was there a week or two ago, and I don't know, man. I was hitting the 90, and I was doing 80. It's 65. I was doing
That's so
80.
slow.
People were leaving me like it was, like I was blocking traffic. I'm like, what the? No cops anywhere, just hauling butt between, O'Hare and, well, I was heading out to Byron, but,
Nice.
well, it was a little cold for me. I got that blood now.
Yeah.
So Narcs and Big Block, let me bring you guys up. And
Hey, Matt and I will oil wrestle over LS versus Hemi. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm down.
So here's one cool thing about Matt's channel is they run a podcast that is, I'm telling you, in a year, it's going to be the podcast to listen to. It's awesome. The group of guys he has that do that are funny as hell. And some of
Well,
his
thank you,
guests
man.
looking like me.
Yeah.
Steven's over here grinding on stuff. We're working on the OBS tonight, so hang on.
So yeah, I've had Mike on the podcast a couple of times, and he's been a huge help with the Hemi. And we're actually getting ready to do a 6.0 LS swap in my 63 C10.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited. What's funny about the 6.0 swap in the C10 is Steven and I actually helped get the truck. I'm not going to say finished, but we got it a lot farther with the big block and
take it apart.
yeah, and manual trans in it, and it set like it needed a couple things, and Matt went ham on the Duster.
I sure
And
did.
Then his wife's like, "Hey, if you're going to have the Duster, I want the truck back because it was hers originally." So now he's going 6.0 and auto in it, so she can drive it. So they'll be a hot rod couple. So I'm excited about that for them. So, one other cool fact about the LS engine is that the LS9, and I don't know if many people know this, but the LS9, the supercharged one that comes in the vet, is a direct swap for a Hellcat. GM designed the motor mounts just for that.
no. You and your fake facts. I love it. I'm going to start a new show, Fake Facts with Michael Narks.
Yeah.
But speaking of
Well, I messaged the 815 guys. I was like, listen, we got to come up with some good stuff to really get some people pissed off tonight. So, all right, what else?
Speaking of your fake show, man, I had an idea, and I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to have unaware drag racing. So I'm going to stand, because I have a road right next to my house. I'm going to stand out by the road and do drag racing commentation when everybody is lined up. Like you have a minivan and a truck. They don't know they're racing.
Yes.
But to me, I'm standing there filming, and I think they're racing, and I'm going to speak as if they are having a flat-out drag race.
Yes.
And my brother had a great idea where he wants his camera just a little ways down the road, pointed back towards where the cars are coming, and he's going to be kind of standing next to the wall with the flag and jump out and wave the checkered flag as they go by.
That's awesome.
I think that would be absolutely hilarious, and check it out. You may see it coming to my channel after a bit.
Dude, please do it. Please, that would be so much fun. So,
Oh, yeah.
video in the old truck. I'm going to daily it next week. And I'm going to basically the entire video is going to be me making hits on the street against like Ford Fusions, and anything that's next to me is just going to get smoked. It's going to be great.
That's another thing. Everybody's trying to race me. The video is everyone is trying to race me.
Yeah. Yep.
You see Grandma, see you look on her face? She's trying. I know she is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm pulling us all off topic here. But so what do you think is I mean, I know right now from a dollar perspective, the Hemi is going to cost you more because of the lack of availability of parts, or the parts that you do purchase are definitely a little more pricey than the LS guys. But I mean, besides that, there really isn't a whole ton of difference. I mean, you get a little better airflow with the Hemi head than you do the LS, and I know people are going to try and shoot me for that, but it's almost 24% is what the actual number is. I did some research before this day. But
I feel
no,
like the my facts now.
Oh yeah. What would you have to say about LS versus Hemi?
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
I really like them both. I like a single push rod because it's not as expensive. So like the mod motor and Coyote stuff is great. I mean, they make big power. But as an example, like a Coyote F-150 and a Coyote Mustang setup is completely different. You can't move cams with two of them, and that's stupid. Like, you should be able to take a Mustang GT cam and put it in an F-150 and get another 25 or 30 horsepower. But you can't because Ford designs. Ford sucks. Yeah, because they're done. So, when you think about, I think that's probably the biggest reason I like the LS compared to most anything else, except probably the Hemi. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. One cam. It's so bad.
Nice. I saw everybody just about spit stuff out when he said that. So that's another show. I'm just saying. I will have a chance for the Ford guys to speak their voice as well. And I do have a really good friend of mine who's got a nitrous powered Fox body with a little Windsor in there that runs about 9. Well, last he ran was 970. So I know those guys can pull their weight too. We do have a question from William Paul here I'd like to bring up. Let's see, Mr. Big Block, do you want to go ahead and spout off on him?
I don't know what the automatics are called, but I do know they come, if you get a standard, it comes with a T56 in it, I do believe, for a 6-speed.
Okay, for manual.
Yeah, for the manual, I do believe it's a T56 Tremec.
Yeah, T56.
Yeah. I'm not great with trans codes, so the automatic, I'm not 100% sure what that one is.
Perfect. We will we'll have to look it up and figure it out. And actually, let me see. Can I do it while I got you guys here? Too much of a pain in the butt. I got too many people going. Otherwise, I'd pull up and search it right the second, and we would tell them exactly what it is. Or if my brother Dan IT guy who's watching could do us a favor and pull up the different automatic codes. I know it's ZF80, something like that. Trying to think of what those are, but I know you guys know the Chevy ones off the top of your head. You're like, yeah, you can go to the gas station and pick one up.
Hey, Narks, did Hemi steal that T56 from LS?
Bought it like Matt. Where did you get that?
Do we really need to talk about it? So I pirated the TKO 600 from the C10 Big Block swap to put behind the Hemi.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to waste $3,000 of transmission.
Yeah. Well, and dude, I mean, the thing about the building the Duster with the man makes sense. I get it. I mean, I'm logical. Put the wife in a completely reliable 450 horsepower truck that's probably going to smoke the Duster. Because all the Duster's going to do is spin. Hey, listen. Hey, what size tires were on the Duster?
It had the factory pizza cutters on it of 14 by 4.
Yeah, they were amazing. Hey, listen, when you get the Hemi in it, we're just going to go destroy those tires, it'll probably take, I'm guessing 7.3 seconds to just kill those tires.
Oh, it would take nothing at all because I mean the rear end would go before the tires probably with that 7 1/4.
Yeah, but you've got a 9-inch for it, right?
I got an 8 3/4 for it now.
That's right.
I did have a 9-inch, but I subbed out for an 8 3/4.
Yeah. Hey, let's get the other guys back here real quick because here's one thing I want to talk because Matt is a perfect example of snowball effect.
Yeah.
So Matt decides he wants to. What was the key to putting in? Why'd you decide to go Hemi? Like what were you pulling the 6 out for? It was something wiring or something. No,
Well, no, all the seals because this car was 100% factory outside of the paint when I got it. All the seals from 1971 finally decided to give up,
that's right.
and so I was pulling it, and then the Hemi came up. I was just going to do a reseal job on the Slant 6, but then the Hemi came up, and I figured everything's already in. I was like, well, we need to update the wiring for this. Pulled the carpet, and lo and behold, there's rust. So then all the interior's out now, and all the wiring's out. And as you can see, the hood's off, the trunk's off. There's no seats in the car.
Yep. Hey, Matt was one of the first guys to get the Terminator X kit for the Gen 3 Hemi.
Yes, that was a fantastic kit.
Yeah. Yep. We're running the Terminator X Max on the OBS truck.
That's what I want to put in the Fox body here is the Terminator X.
It is a killer kit. Like I went through it and looked at everything. I mean, each injector, each coil has its own color-coded wires, its own label, everything. Like you cannot hook this thing up wrong.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
We'll find a way.
You guys were talking about down your harness earlier. That's what I did with the truck first. I cut the harness down for it, and then I drove it like that 1,000 miles. Nice harness in. But I'm still factory ECU 500 wheel.
Yeah, the Fox body, I'm still running a factory ECU right now, and I used the LT1 swap site and stripped everything out that I didn't need. And I've got a ton of extra wire in the car because I wasn't sure how much to cut. So there's a lot of loops up behind the roll bar. But yeah, I got it all together and it started up and I was happy. And it runs off the stock ECU right now. But yeah, I definitely want to look at the Holly in the future.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Go turbo, I think.
Yeah.
Especially if he's going to do the tuning and stuff, the Holly stuff will be much easier.
Yeah, I really want to learn that.
So any of you guys, speaking of that, my buddy that owns Project Nitrous with his Mustang, he got a hold of me and wants myself and Dan IT guy to help him put that grid system in. Have you guys had any experience with the grid system? From Holly? Yeah, basically there's sensors everywhere, and you can program this thing to check anything. I mean, you can put wheel speed sensors, you can put crank sensor, you can put drive shaft. I mean, you can do ambient air temperature. I mean, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with the grid system, but we're going to have to gut that thing out and wire everything again. So yeah, it's whenever we get into electronics and wiring, that's where me and my brother kind of go, okay, we'll help.
That's awesome.
We like playing with that stuff.
Yep.
So cool. I know we got about 15 minutes here. Let me give a chance here to kind of go around the room. I'll give you a second. What do you guys have coming up? The reason why everyone wants to run over to your channel and smack that subscribe button. What do you guys got next going on that, man, they got to come check out? I mean, I can see a couple of these builds here. Dan standing in front of one, and Big Block standing in front of one. Eric's got a couple behind him, but Narks, we just see you. I mean, I'll let you go first, Narks, and then we'll scoot around the room to Big Block, and then we'll let the LSX swap boys tee us off here towards the end.
Perfect. So the reason to follow Narks Electric burnouts and turbo LS stuff. We have With the Jeep leaving, it gives me time to work on the Narcs cart, which we're going to do a turbo for it and get ready for our, we run a charity group, and we are doing a drag and drive overnight Rocky Mountain Race Week kind of event that's in April. So we're going to have a turbo on the cart by April. We're going to upgrade the old truck. Our goal is low 11s with it. And then the OBS truck is I mean, that's going to be a ton of fun. It was his grandfather's. And so getting it back on the road, we're going to do a ton of content with his mom and grandmother driving the truck. And there's going to be a ton of I'm putting reaction videos together for the old truck for folks that have never ridden and that kind of stuff. So all that kind of thing for us. So, and then Steven's building the shop. So we'll have a complete video series on the 40x40 shop and how you can do it and break down a cost and all that kind of stuff. So a bunch of money. So that's it for us. I mean, let's hear why everybody else wants to follow you guys. Maybe. Am I still the only one up on the screen? I think I'm running the show now. There we go.
So what we're going to have going on at Big Block's Garage is we're doing the podcast. We got some great guests coming up on that. We're getting ready to go sit down with Jonathan Stone Cipher in January and talk to him about his racing and everything. As far as the YouTube channel, I've been neglecting it a little bit, but now that it's starting to slow down again, we're going to be doing a lot of body work on the Duster, replacing some rusty panels, and we're going to be breaking down how to fit a Hemi into that little A body behind me. There's some easy ways to do it, but we got to figure out TTI header fitment, steering fitment, and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get a little bit more in depth because there's not really a whole lot of videos out there on how to do this stuff with A body. So we're going to try to be very in depth as we can with that. And that's about all we got going on is Duster work. And then we're going to start doing a little bit of C10 work again.
Do you have to swap the K-frame?
I didn't have to, but I'm choosing to. I got a hold of a K-frame out of a 73 340 car that came with disc brakes and everything. So it's helping do the disc brake upgrade for a lot cheaper than buying a whole kit. We're still going to put a little bit bigger brake upgrade on it, and we're going to convert the back to rear disc as well.
Yeah, so you got small bolt pattern on there right now?
A small bolt pattern right now, we're swapping over to the large bolt pattern.
Absolutely awesome. All right, let's move over. Dan, Eric, you guys ready?
As we'll ever be.
Take the stage.
So, yeah, watch ours. We got some interesting content coming up. So it's going to be the twin turbo E36 here. And the great thing about it is, so I'm actually also Dan, the IT guy. So I'm an IT professional by trade. And this is the first time I'm ever doing anything like this. So I don't sugarcoat it. And I do post whenever I make mistakes on this stuff. If you follow us on Facebook, you'll see I post anything I do. And if you see like some of the major Facebook pages, LSX swaps and everything, I'm on there as well. And I take a lot of heat from the really nice welds I do on there. Just learning how to flux core weld, so it don't look pretty. So I think the biggest thing is I'm doing there's not a lot of these swaps out there for an E36 twin turbo, and I think I'm the only, from what I've seen, I'm the only person on Facebook on YouTube building a twin turbo LS swap E36. There's a guy with a single turbo, and there's a few others with twin turbos. Nobody's done a build on it that I've been able to find. So if they're out there, let me know. But if this thing blows up when it starts up, you guys are going to see it. So it's always some fun content.
That's so cool. Eric, are you just going to be helping him work on that, or do you have anything separate going on? You guys just on YouTube? What other platforms do you guys, YouTube and Facebook? Do you plan on jumping onto TikTok or one of those? Or
I don't know up for that.
So we have Facebook. We have the 815 LSX swaps on Facebook, also on Instagram and the YouTube right now. I don't know. We've talked about doing some other stuff. I wouldn't mind doing podcasts, but we'll see what comes up. But as far as my car, we're going to do a similar path like we did with Dan's. We're going to fabricate everything for the twin turbos. We're going to record it all. I didn't have the channel when I started building the car originally, so I wish I would have had more content recorded as I went through and built the suspension and built the rear end. And I wish I would have recorded more wiring it. So going forward, I want to make sure that we record as much as we can. But we're going to build the twin turbo kit. We're going to put it on. And since I have a daily I have a daily plus I still have the 240. The Mustang, we're gonna moon boost it. We're gonna see what happens, and we're gonna be able to review these Chinese GT45 turbos, and we're gonna give them what it can take and see what happens. The best thing about LS is we'll go to the junkyard and pick another one up for a couple $100 and start over.
Exactly. That's absolutely awesome. Let me bring everybody up here. Oh wow! Big head in the middle. There we go. No, I can't thank you guys enough for joining. I think this was a great discussion. I didn't hear anybody yelling at each other about any of it. I know some people were looking for that. It's not what it's about. And like I said, it's about the build, and everybody has that passion for the build. And as you said, Eric, you build something yourself. First of all, when it starts for the first time, you about pee yourself.
Yep.
Excitement is unreal. And then let alone being able to take it down the track. Like you said, doesn't matter what it ran. You built this thing from nothing, and you were able to take it down the drag strip, which is absolutely awesome.
Yep.
Well, hey.
One thing I want to say real quick about.
What is he going to say?
So here's the thing.
Man, we need to fix his internet, brother. I love you talking on mute. There, now you're on.
I had a phone call right in the middle of that. How do you correct that? I don't know. Anyway, here we go. So, just document stuff. We were lucky enough to have a camera around quite a bit when my dad was alive. We have a bunch of videos with him. So, anybody that's watching this, just document, and so you'll have those forever. That's my tip for starting a YouTube channel.
For sure, man. And that's everything. I haven't done anything big besides a go-kart build because I don't have a shop, and 2-car garages in Arizona are for 2 Priuses. They're not for 2 normal sized cars. But my brother and I are actually looking at buying a project car and getting our shop going. And once again, that's where subscribing to everybody, it helps everyone, including my buddy Matty SRT there. Everybody you see in the chat, there's a lot of people that have YouTube channels. All you guys that participated, I will put your links down below. So everybody who has watched this can jump on there. I'm sure there's somebody who's looking to build something crazy and looking for advice. And my brother has a great thing here. Anybody who ever needs advice, you can reach out to any one of us. And I hope you guys are okay with me saying that. But as you're going through the process, things that you have learned, it's priceless, because until you go and break it and then have to fix it again, you could save somebody $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. You know what I mean? Just by going, don't do that. I did. Here's a little bit of advice. Here's a tip. Just don't share your junkyard secrets with them, though, because otherwise they'll go take all that stuff out of the junkyard. You can't find it.
Yep.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing wrapped up here. I so appreciate you guys. Any ideas on the topic for next week that anybody would like to see? Anybody in the comments? You guys, I have a couple of them. One of the big ones I want to do, whether it's next week or coming soon, is I want to have all small car guide channels, or big if they're available, join for this type of forum, and all of us just talk about YouTube and how it works and how we can all get better at our craft, because we're all still learning our way and making our way in this thing. So that's one of the topics that I have. But if you have something else you want to bring up on the show, please let me know. All righty, guys. I'm going to take it from here, sign us out. Thank you so much. We'll see you all very, very soon. So, hey, I appreciate you guys once again tuning in. This was absolutely awesome. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I do have the Barrett-Jackson Auto Auction coming up January 16th through the 23rd, which is my next big event that I'll be able to film. I'm going to try and hit some cars and coffees and that type of thing for people who like to watch random videos. I did do a video for Super Clean. If you haven't seen that, check it out. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Slap that subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell, tell your buddies, and let's talk cars, man. It's all about smiles per gallons at the end of the day. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.